Welcome back. If you missed the first half of the show with Charlene Frazier from eStep Wellness Center, you can watch it online at the YouTube site at the bottom of the screen. With me now is Steve Stone from the Army Community Services Financial Readiness Program. Welcome to the show, Steve.
Thank you, Tara.
All right. So you're here to talk to us about money.
Talk to you about budgeting and a lot of things that we have going on. We're located at Building 5662, ACS Financial Readiness Building, right around the corner. We're open from 8 to 4:30 every day. And we have a lot of functions in our building. We have the Army Emergency Relief Program. We also have the Consumer Affairs Office. And we also have budget counselors. I'm a budget counselor, been around for quite a while. A couple of things I'd like to just kind of highlight to you today is basically the school time is coming back and coming this year. And we're looking for ways to help soldiers and family members save on school supplies and all that. So what we recommend is you have a tax-free period in Tennessee, and it's the first weekend in August, and parents should take advantage of that as much as they possibly can. The tax-free includes computers, it includes back-to-school supplies, so you can save 9.5% right out of the chute just by shopping on that weekend.
It makes a huge difference. Now, back-to-school shopping kind of catches up on a lot of parents every single year.
It does.
And if you have school-age kids, this is really important because all those school supplies add up.
Right.
All those new clothes add up.
Right.
And there always seems to be something that you forget. And so taking advantage of the tax-free weekend in Tennessee is really important.
Sure.
And then, of course, you can shop on post at the exchange.
Tax-free.
No tax at all.
That's right, tax-free as well. A lot of the soldiers and family members here don't realize that we have 3 different tax areas here at Fort Campbell. We have the Tennessee side, which is 9.5% on sales tax. You have the Kentucky side, which is 6% on sales. You have the PX and the commissary as well, and they're tax-free.
That's right. And so it's something that you always want to take into consideration.
Right.
Our tax dollars hard at work.
Exactly.
Supporting our local community.
Exactly.
So prior to going out and spending all the money that you need to spend, if you have kids that are
Right.
school age, you need to plan in advance.
Exactly.
And so when should you sit down and do a budget?
You need to do a budget about once a month at least. It's really a living thing that you have. It's always moving. Money is basically like an old farm pond. You got a creek that fills up the pond, you got fish in the pond, and you got a little spillway that lets the water out. Well, debt is your spillway. And a lot of people, when that money comes in, it goes out quicker. And they don't realize, but the pond's drying up and the fish are popping on the bottom of the pond. But what you need to do basically is sit down and look at your budget, see what your income is, and then compare it to the expense that you have, okay? And see what's coming in and what's going out. And then make a list of your priorities. All you want to do is prioritize to see, what do I need? Do my kids need clothes for school? If they do, that's number 1 priority. Okay, school is coming up, so you're going to need that. How much can you afford to spend on school clothes? That's a big question. If I buy school clothes, let's say $100, $200, $500 in school clothes, what is impacted in my budget over here? Because if you make a decision to spend this, something else over here may be impacted. And the fastest way to gain wealth is to buy down debt. You want to pay off your bills as much as possible.
And you really have to keep track of what your bills are. Just because you have money in your account doesn't mean that you can spend it like water.
Right. And a lot of soldiers know the term overdraft fees, because overdraft fees can impact you tremendously in your budget. Not tracking your money, swiping that card when you have a negative dollar, and you get that burger for 99 cents can cost you $35.99 if you swipe that card, and that card's negative $1. So you got to be careful with your money. You need to know what you're doing, and if you don't have the money, okay, and you need assistance for financial emergency, whether it be food, gasoline, rent, whatever, you can always come to AER. Go through your command, see your commander, your first sergeant, and ask for AER assistance.
And AR is a great program. Financial Readiness Program is a program that's close to my heart. That's where I started here at Fort Campbell.
Right, I remember.
And so money is important. You need money to survive, but you don't need to spend money like crazy. And working there really helped reiterate the things that I was taught when I was young. And that's really when money management should be taught, is starting with our kids.
Right.
And so I know that you are a great educator for this, and there's a lot of classes that Financial Readiness offers. You guys still have the bank account and the debit card management
Right, we have
classes?
the bank account and debit card management class. It's on the first and third Wednesday of the month from 9 to 11 in our building, 5662. You don't have to sign up for any of these classes. All you have to do is show up from 9 to 11. Spouses are welcome. Our money management class is on the second and fourth Wednesday of every month from 9 to 11. And you don't have to sign up for that either. We even have how to buy a house class. It's from 1 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the second Tuesday of every month. And we recently started a coupon social. I'm a big coupon guru because I love coupons.
But you're not a hoarder, right?
No, I'm not a hoarder. I don't need 1,100 boxes of Rice Krispies.
But that's such a popular show right now, between the coupon madness and then they follow it up with hoarding. I'm like, wait a minute, but there's a big difference. And why don't you explain that to us?
It is. The difference is that take care of your needs and leave off your wants. The fact that you can go out and coupon, and we offer this coupon social class. It's on the first Monday of every month at our building, 5662, from 5 to 6:30 in the evening.
So you can go after work.
Right after work. Bring your spouse. The spouses come in. We hold this, like I said, the first Monday of every month. And what you do is you come in, you bring your coupons, and we'll even have an area, a classroom area there where you can clip and save, we call it.
Fantastic. And are you able to trade coupons with other people?
We trade coupons, even online information. There's a lot of online sites. You can even go to the manufacturer, Black & Decker, whoever, and get coupons. Lowe's, you can go online and get coupons. Walmart doesn't use coupons, but Kroger's, Food Line, etc., they all use coupons.
And the commissary uses coupons too.
Yes, they do. And the commissary takes coupons as well.
Yes, they do.
So, but besides the coupons and budgeting, the main thing is going back to the budgeting. You want to budget your money.
And you do have to account for everything when you're budgeting.
Yes, ma'am.
And so keeping track of what you typically spend for school supplies, what you spend on birthday gifts, on even vacation.
Correct.
This is all stuff that you should be adding into your budget and figuring out how much you're taking in, how much you're spending, and then, of course, paying down that debt. Because if you don't pay down that debt, you are never going to be ahead of the game. And that's really what you're trying to do, right?
It's what we want to do. Most people, if you look at it, especially the soldier side of the house, the debt that they have, that they've incurred, it's the decision that you make. When you get up in the morning, you decide, I'm going to stop and get a $10 breakfast. Every morning that you stop and get a $10 breakfast can cost you $300 a month. So you have to look at what you're doing with your money. The main thing is to track your money and have your budget so that it's flexible. You're going to look that budget over about once a month at least to see, hey, where's our money coming and going? Because we want to stop overdrafts. Okay, I've seen soldiers have overdrafts between $300 and $600 on a monthly basis.
It's out of control. It's really out of control. Why don't you tell me a little bit about what are the top 3 things that soldiers and families typically spend money on?
Besides food and gasoline, there's basically the top 3 things you want to avoid is eating out, smoking, and driving.
And driving. Why don't we talk about driving? Because people don't think of driving as being really expensive, but it is usually right after rent or mortgage payment the most expensive thing that most of our family members do.
It is, and the reason for that is that most soldiers don't track their money. Everything's online. Everything's paid for with a card. And if you have a card, you pull up and you fill up your tank, and you don't write it down. Remember, I just put $60 in my truck. You drive it for 2 days or 3 days, and you notice that you're half a tank, and you go in and fill it up again, but you don't write it down. On average, I've seen soldiers between $400 and $700 a month on gasoline.
That's a lot of gas, and you also have to consider not only your vehicle payment, how much you're spending in fuel, but your maintenance and your insurance.
Insurance as well.
And so one of the big things that I learned at Financial Readiness was it's not the large payments that'll kill you. It's the small things that bleed you dry because you lose track of those easily.
It is.
And to shop around. It's okay to shop around for your insurance, for your vehicle, for your financing, for everything. And so make sure
refinancing your car. You mentioned your financing. Refinancing your car. I have soldiers that have anywhere from 18 to 20% interest on car notes. I tell them, go on www.bankrate.com and shop it. Call 10 banks and 10 credit unions and shop to see if you can get that 6% or 7% car loan, because the difference can be hundreds of dollars. It's the same way with your mortgage. Shop that mortgage insurance as well.
And as the consumer, we really do have the power, and you have to educate yourself. And that's what Financial Readiness Program is all about. Between the Consumer Affairs Office, you as a budget counselor and your coworkers, and then Army Emergency Relief, which is there for emergencies.
Right.
They're there for education and to empower the soldiers to make smart decisions with their money.
Exactly. Deployments are coming up. We're starting with the deployment. One thing I'd like to mention is the fact that AER, a lot of folks don't know, a lot of soldiers don't know, but AER can help if the soldier's deployed and the spouse has a power of attorney. AER can help during an emergency, even if they're not at Fort Campbell. Let's say a spouse goes back to Georgia with the kids on a visit to grandma's, and the clunker breaks down on Mount Eagle Pass going into Atlanta, okay, and it's Saturday night, and they don't have the money to pay the tow truck, and they have a power of attorney and an ID card. All they have to do is dial 1-877-272-7337.
And who does that get them?
And that gets them the American Red Cross. And we have a reciprocal agreement nationwide. Anywhere in the United States, if you break down and you're not within 50 miles of a post or a base or a naval port, you can ask the American Red Cross to provide you with AR assistance. They will wire you the money.
And that's one less thing to worry about when your soldier is deployed.
Sure.
Couple other things. Communication is key when it comes to spending money.
It is.
With family members.
It is. And
if you're in need of a budget, make an appointment. It's really easy to call you guys. What's the number?
Exactly. It's 270-798-5518. All you have to do is call and say, I want one-on-one budget counseling. And it takes about 2 hours. You can even go on Fort Campbell MWR website under the ACS side of the house and look down under Financial Readiness, and we have the budget worksheets there for you. All you have to do is fill them out, bring them in, and we'll sit down and go over your budgets with you.
Now, Steve, with many of our units getting ready to deploy in the fall, there's always a few little tricky things that come up during deployment.
Right.
What are a couple quick tricks or tips that you have for the soldiers and family members during deployment?
During deployment, especially before the soldier leaves, they need to go ahead and put their rent, their mortgage, their car payments, the major bills on military allotments. That way they don't have to ask their spouse or their mother or their brother or father to pay their bills while they're deployed. Let Uncle Sam pay those bills directly and not go through the bank. That way they know it's been paid for. When they're deployed, all they have to do is bring up their LES on a remote and look, and their car's been paid for. It's all on military allotments. Car's been paid, rent's been paid, even the car insurance can be paid. They're allowed up to 6 discretionary allotments on my pay, and they can do it themselves. That way, when they go to bed at night, they go to sleep, they don't have to worry about anything being paid.
One less thing to worry about is those recurring payments.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming and talking to us about money, Steve, and it's an important subject for all of us.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
With literally tons of vehicles on Air Assault Auto's You Buy, You Sell page, it's easy to find the one that suits you and your family best. Whether it be a sleek motorcycle or a comfortable family SUV, you can find it all on the website. Just go to FortCampbellMWR.com, click on the You Buy, You Sell lot link to learn more, and see pictures of current vehicles for sale. Stop by Air Assault Auto today to sell your vehicle, boat, camper, trailer, or motorcycle. MWR, serving soldiers, families, retirees, and civilians.
Welcome back, and thank you for staying tuned to MWR Life on Air. If you would like more information on family and MWR events and activities, you can check out our website and our Facebook page. Pick up the latest copy of MWR Life and Single Soldier Life magazine. Call our 24-hour recorded information line, Join our text club by texting MWR to 68683, and you can listen to our very own radio program on 105.1 WVRY at 8:30 a.m. on Friday mornings, live from Mugsy's Coffee Shop on Fort Campbell Boulevard across from Gate 3. To receive weekly information to your inbox, please sign up to receive the MWR e-newsletter by going to fortcampbellmwr.com, click on MWR e-news, and then select Register for e-news. You'll start receiving the e-news the following week. I'm Tara Goodson. Thank you for watching MWR Life on Air. We're supporting soldiers, families, retirees, and civilians with quality of life events and activities. We are your network of services.